The tactics used by the police to keep order during large events have been criticised by the Metropolitan Police's Inspector of Constabulary. Dennis O'Connor has looked into the way officers dealt with the G20 protests and said police are too focused on tackling violence and not enough on allowing peaceful protest. He also found that the use of so-called kettling methods, which police use to keep protesters inside certain cordons, were inconsistent when the police were dealing with the thousands of protesters who were in the City of London on the 1st of April. The review has questioned whether police were prepared to deal with a range of different types of protest and has called for a review of public order training. It warned that ahead of the London 2012 Olympics, it's important that there's a consistent and standardised approach to dealing with large crowds. Mr O'Connor also said a medical assessment is needed of how riot officers use shields and batons. He also says that all protesters should be given advice on how to get out of cordons, and those people who've been inadvertently caught up in police kettle should be allowed to leave.
Containment is a tactic that has been through the House of Lords, and providing the 3 criteria that are specified for it, which include proportionality and consideration of the duration of it, providing those are applied, that's helpful. But we also make a number of recommendations, which I think are common sense recommendations about how you might moderate it when it's applied to people. So, no surprises, tell them. Have people observing the crowd to see if there's someone distressed who might have asthma or might be elderly and might be in difficulties. Make the toilets and all the rest of it available to them. Signpost those things so they can get to them. Do you see what I mean? A whole series of practical recommendations so that if it has to be applied to safeguard another part of the city, which may, because there may be disorder there, or to enable the traffic to move somewhere in London, then how do you temper it? That's the point.
And Mr O'Connor said all officers should be made to wear their police numbers so they're identifiable.